push, 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 push. Counterattacking for the straight right hand. So as Ian is coming in with the straight right hand, note how we're starting things off with head movement as a part of the Triple H formula for how we defend strikes. Clearly, Ian almost always would be preceding the right hand with a jab. Almost always. But here's the jab, and you see I'm going to duck it straight down, and then from here, do you see how I can throw my jab at the same time, or I can throw my two at the exact same time. For the absolute beginner, this is what I recommend to start things off with when you're moving your head to defend. Now, as Ian is coming in, me slipping in may feel really, really dangerous at first, but with some practice, you can absolutely do that. After the slip in, note how the two to the body is great, my right hand to the body is great, or I can throw my straight right hand to his head. I call that a split. When I'm throwing up high to the head, I call this a split. My head and my hands are one unit. And you see how his hand comes in and we split that apart. Note how my pinky is to the sky on this. I like to roll that over. Can I have that two again to my head? And you see how now I'm counterattacking. As well, I can slip on the inside. So his right hand is coming in and I can slip on the inside on that. Here's my jab to the body. Or as well, you see how I can throw a corkscrew hook over top. That's a split, but onto the inside. Now, I can also throw an upside down too. So if you go on this side, please, and I slip in on the inside, you know how I slip on the inside? I call this an upside down two, meaning that here's my two, here's my upside down two. Two again, upside down two. So, see how, again please, pop it, good, pop it, good, pop it. There's my upside down two. Also slipping on the outside, there's my upside down one. There's my upside down one. Also for that right hand, I can snap back, and on the retraction of that, that's when I can throw my one, or on the snap back, I can throw my two. Now introducing my hands on how I would defend and then cycle things into offense. When that right hand comes out, my favorite thing to do is just to throw my jab over top. Bruce Lee called that the sliding leverage punch, meaning that my forearm is like a wedge, which is a lever, slides in, and then do you see how it displaces his hand and allows me to land my counter. Almost always that will be done off of his 1-2, his straight left and his straight right. I'm going to need a little bit of time to kind of just figure Ian out what he's doing. We'll move around a little bit, right? He's throwing that 1-2, and then I'm like, oh, there it is right there, right? With that sliding leverage punch. So out of every single counterattack that I'm going to throw for the right hand, this one's my favorite. Can we do it off the 1-2 again, please? That's my favorite, right? You will use that all the time. Once you sort of perfect the form, it will come out again and again, and the timing is so crisp and it lands so perfectly when the person is fully committed to throwing that right hand, you won't feel like using anything else. However, everybody's different. So I'm going to show as many counters as I possibly can to help you. Another thing, the next thing we can do is that when that right hand comes out, is that, do you see how I can throw my right hand as well? Do you see how my hands are a little bit more open and I'm waiting for those punches to come straight down the middle and I'm pairing with my left simultaneously as I'm punching with my right. Comes out right there. So we're moving around, and do you see how I'm parrying and I'm hitting Ian with that right. I can also throw that right hand again, please. Ian, good. I can also throw my overhand. So this has tremendous power, and note how I am parrying out of the way as I'm doing this. See, I'm loading up my right, and then I'm just going to hit him right here. Note how it's an overhand right because my hand is over top of me. This is huge because I'm not just throwing right from my chin, I'm actually taking a moment to load up. Dangerous, clearly, because I have a face. There's a face in that where my hand is away from my face. Can we do that again, please? But it's just super powerful. We'll do it on this side. Can you do it? Give me a 1-2. 1-2, and you see how I'm getting ready for that, and then you see, it's right there. Right? So you have tremendous power on that overhand right. If that 2 goes to my body, you see how right there he's just going in between my 2 forearms. I like to use my lead elbow to be able to defend, and thus I just drill him with my right hand. This is the easiest. You can use your jab as well. You see how I'm just using my jab, but the most ideal way is that I'm just hitting him with my right hand. Heels. Now using the footwork portion of how to defend and then counterattack Ian. So he's throwing that right hand, I can step back and I can step back in with my 2. That's my favorite way. You can also throw 1, 2. It really doesn't matter too much. I could also go from side to side, meaning that he's throwing that right hand, he said I go out and then back in with my hook, or I go out and then back in with my right hook. So that again, out and then back in, to the side and then back in, to the side and then back in as well. You would primarily use that going again, out and then back in, or out and then back in. If you were training with somebody who is just much bigger, stronger, more powerful, and had a bigger reach on you. So do you see how my attempt to throw the hook is also my attempt to get closer to Ian, where I can have tools that will hit him immediately as opposed to being able to fight against his big reach. So that concludes the footwork portion on how we would counterattack the straight right hand. So we have our head movement, our hand movement, and our footwork. That's how you counterattack the straight right hand.